People often see the wheels of my chair before they hear my story. I get it, my muscles fade, my frame might bend, so it's basically more attention grabbing. What I really want people to notice is the stubborn part of me that keeps moving forward despite the circumstances. Pixel by pixel, line by line of code. I'm Aaron Sim and I'm 21. I'm currently studying computer science over at the National University of Singapore, and I am also an APB Foundation Scholar. A normal school day usually involves just looking at a screen doing work, but every now and then I would have my mom help bring me to different venues for different courses. When time permits, I spend some time on games with online friends from Europe and America. Games are usually just a means to get away from the stresses of real life, but I find that sometimes they are also an avenue to find friends when typical social interaction fails.
I'm Judy, Aaron's mom. I actually the main caregiver. I bring him to school. I stay around, especially for toilets. He has different modules, and different modules will have different venue. And that's where the disabilities team, like Miss Agnes, will bring us around before the school term starts to make sure that the location is accessible for him.
Outside of class, I would often volunteer with the Muscular Dystrophy Association of Singapore, usually for Flag Day. What I did was just go around the place, seeing if anyone would like to donate, after which I would return the tin, and almost all the time would follow by me going out for a meal with my family, essentially allowing it to serve as a family day. I'm currently dealing with muscular dystrophy and Asperger syndrome. Muscular dystrophy is a condition that causes all my muscles to get progressively weaker over time, while Asperger syndrome is within the autism spectrum disorder. It generally gives me difficulty in understanding social cues, such as nonverbal cues and tone of voice. At 13, some of my muscles at the lungs start to weaken, and so the need for such respiration machines would come up. At first, it was a CPAP, but we would soon move on to the more advanced BiPAP. A BiPAP can be treated as a sort of ventilator to help push more air into my lungs, which will greatly help my sleep quality and making sure that I never lose my breath. Around my early secondary days, I seemed to be having a problem of almost constantly leaning to the left. As it turned out, my spine was curved quite badly. Eventually, it just got so bad that the doctor told me I had no choice. I had to go for the operation. I was originally considered deferring my studies just so I could better focus on my recovery. But as I thought about it even more, I realized I wasn't the type to try and back out from difficulty like that. In fact, I actually embrace a good challenge.
Recovery means months of fatigues and learning how to balance things. When Aaron could no longer kick in Taekwondo, we tried horse riding. But when that became unstable, we moved to paracanoeing. I feel a little sad each time, but I will still bravely move forwards with him. So because of his social norm is not there, and sometimes he acts weirdly, he was actually being labelled the boy on a wheelchair. It's really very sad to hear all this being labelled, and all this. But as much as us parents is concerned, we want him to face all this himself. Even though I'm every day in school, I go in and out of the classroom, I do not interfere with whatever is happening in the classroom. He has a group of understanding teachers and also special needs counselors who actually was there whenever he faced with any problems.
I had decided that computer science would be my vessel for employment going forward, because this is a skill that is not inhibited by my physical limitations. It also just happened to be a subject that I was extremely interested in since a young age. I don't exactly have concrete plans yet, but I expect that I am going to be able to develop something, most likely a piece of software. Regardless of what exactly I design, I just wanted to have the end goal of helping other people with disabilities similar to me, or just helping the general public. I feel like it's only fitting that I find some way to repay the kindness I have received over the years.
I hope people will see him differently, talk to him, get to know him better. And I think you will see that he's actually quite inspiration to others. And he's actually quite a fun person to be with.
If you're living with a diagnosis, set some tasks for yourself and make sure you stop at nothing to achieve them. If they seem too daunting, you should be breaking it down to several milestones and just work on each one at a time. And of course, never give up, as it's my belief that nothing is impossible.
Aaron has taught me to be stronger. His muscle may weaken, yet his will keeps staying strong.
I'm not just a gamer, a survivor, or scholar. I'm a dreamer who refuses to log out. I'll keep rolling towards a future where disability is merely in detail in the dialogue, never the full script.